We've got a line which is do your research.
What did you know about Christopher Ward?
Nothing. Literally nothing.
Because we really believe when you check us out, you'll find that we're the real deal. When we looked at the world of watches for the first time in any detail, we were somewhat surprised. We were really shocked to find that not only were we able to access some of the same components that some of the great brands were using, we were also very surprised to learn about the multiples that some of the brands were applying to the cost price of those same components. In one case, famously, it was 34 times the cost. Now, being three northern lads, mothers on our shoulders, value had always seemed really important to us.
We set off with the ambition of almost, watches for every man and applying normal retail multiples to our margins. And that's led to one of the founding principles of the business.
So the guarantee of our watches is 5 years, 60 months, 5 years, right? We have that 60-60 guarantee, also with the 60 days of return. And I can say this is no problem for us to guarantee these 5 years.
We are trying to get watches onto the wrists of a lot of people, essentially, which I think is nice. There's a chap I sit next to at the football who randomly bought a Christopher Ward watch and didn't know I worked for them, and I was like, oh, it's a nice watch, and then we ended up talking about Christopher Ward for a little bit.
There was a freshness as well about all these people looking at a new industry for the first time, whether it be design of watches, whether it be the pricing of watches, whether it be the quality of watches, trying to do something really different and unique and sell them in a way that had never been sold before, i.e. on the internet.
Somebody ordering at 9 o'clock this morning in Manhattan can get their watch by 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock tomorrow morning in Manhattan.
And people told us you'll never sell a watch on the internet. I think what's special about Christopher Ward is the people at Christopher Ward. They really care about what they're doing. It matters to them. And that helps them produce really special watches.
Our focus on quality and bringing new innovations is something we both really enjoy, and it's always a challenge.
The new product development team here and in Beale are, I think, amongst the best in the industry.
We have this kind of freedom to express ourselves and then in terms of product, because we're so product-minded people.
I like to create a freedom for them to really express what they want to do as well, and they're coming up with some amazing new watches.
I have anyway a lady's wrist, in size. So, I mean, there's nothing.
Yes, what?
I have the wrist, so I think it would be very appropriate for me.
There are no clear boundaries anymore. Before you had clear men watches, women watches, and I love the fact that it's not true anymore. And at the end of the day, we just need to make a great quality product.
I'm a fan, so it's nice working for a company where you're a fan of working here, and you're a fan of the brand and what they do. I always consider myself one who kind of breaks the rules a bit and kind of tries to be a bit of a maverick, so to meet other people who are doing the same thing in an entrepreneurial way, then it's always excellent to be around them.
I think we have a very special team of people creating our watches, and I think people increasingly are seeing that. When we bumped into Jörg Bader at Synergy Horloger, here's a man who invested his entire life in the watch industry, knew stuff we had no idea about.
Just checked if the hand is perfectly parallel to the dial.
And he thought what we were doing was spot on.
At that time, I think I knew immediately that we had something in common. I think it was very clear then. Mike, Peter, me, we kind of clicked and spoke the same language.
There was a genuine synergy and meeting of minds about what mattered in watchmaking and what mattered in value terms, and what we wanted to do in taking on this monolithic industry to produce the cheapest, most expensive watches in the world. That's why the Swiss and the English, I think, are a good mix.
I love, in general, like a lot of British stuff. So I love the culture, I love pubs, I love football. So yeah, we get along pretty well.
Yeah,
even though
I don't
we're
like football, I
yeah,
don't like
I know,
pubs.
but still, I think, yeah. But we have the same type of humor still, like
Yeah,
we're
absolutely.
laughing about the same thing, so we're getting along, like, I don't know, naturally somehow.
And I think we both really love watches as well.
I think we are the smallest company in Switzerland that owns a semi-industrialized movement.
Calibre SH21 was a step change moment for us.
Don't forget, before, only like the big factories were doing movements.
So this was a huge step, never mind for us, but for any brand to take.
And it was incredible. I think almost unheard, unseen, I guess.
And that was, again, one of those moments when I think we realised, actually, we might be doing something right here.
I think the reaction that happened when we brought out the SH21 was an incredible respect. Sometimes maybe disbelief, but I think incredible respect. And what we wanted to do, which was different, and to some big extent is still today different, is that our movement works 5 days. And even my Rolex doesn't do that.
You love your job, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
I'm very excited about some of the watches we're about to bring out. It's always about the product for us.
Just another 30 years, then I'm gone.